Do you want to buy a home but are confused about the process? Hi, I'm Realtor Ben, and in this video guide I'll take you step by step through the process of buying a home. The most important step in your journey to buy a home is your price range. A first step to get an idea of your budget is to use a simple mortgage calculator, which you can find on most major real estate portals. However, once you get serious about buying your own home, you should consult a mortgage lender to get a pre-qualification or pre-approval. The pre-approval will give you a clear maximum budget for your home search. It's also necessary when you want to make an offer because the seller will want proof that you can afford to purchase the home. Before you start browsing homes, take a moment to make a list of your priorities. What is the most important feature to you? The kitchen, the bathrooms, the backyard, or a pool? When you know your top priorities, map out the basics of your home search. How many bedrooms will you need now as well as in the future? Are you planning to have children in the next 5 years? Then you should also consider to have extra space for the nursery or children's room. And the same goes for bathrooms. Also consider what bathroom features, especially for the master bathroom, are important to you. Then you need to think about the kitchen. Do you like to cook or do you eat out most of the days? That will determine how much importance you need to put on kitchen layout and appliances. And finally, you need to know how much parking you need for yourself and your family. Consider that some HOAs have parking restrictions and you may not be able to park outside your garage. When you want to find the perfect home, you need to think about location. One of the most important factors to consider is the distance to your work. Another important factor is the quality of the schools. You can use greatschools.org to research the schools in your neighborhood. Finally, you want to look at features like shopping, dining, and parks. You can use walkscore.com to find out what a community has to offer. And finally, drive through your desired neighborhood at different days and different times of the day. You might like the serenity of the neighborhood on a Sunday morning, but you could be surprised if it turns into a party zone on Saturday night. For most home buyers, the search for a home for sale starts online. While most people will start their search on the big portals like Zillow and Trulia, it's important to know that since April 2015, these websites are not linked to the local MLS anymore. That means you might miss listings or get inaccurate information if you're only relying on real estate portals. The best way is to use portals for sale by owner listings, as well as local realtor websites that are linked directly to their local MLS. Working with a realtor has many benefits when you buy a home. You will have a professional by your side who will guide you with their expertise through all the steps of a successful real estate transaction. Your realtor will help you find the right mortgage lender, schedule showings, research property values, cross-check tax records, prepare contracts and disclosures, negotiate on your behalf for price and repairs, and much more. And working with a realtor is no additional cost to you since the seller pays for their commission. While it would be wonderful to find the perfect home at a really cheap price, that's not always realistic. In that case, focus on the things that let you transform an almost perfect house into a completely perfect home over time. Don't let a soiled carpet, ugly paint, or a dead lawn scare you away. Those are easy to fix. What is not easy to fix are the layout of the home, the structural integrity, the amount of rooms, and the location. Finally, never make the mistake to purchase a home from a listing only. Property photos are usually edited to make the home look bigger, and they will never capture sounds, smells, or damages. Your realtor will take care of all the paperwork and will research comparable sold, expired, and active properties to give you an idea of a realistic price. However, ultimately you will have to decide how much the home is worth to you and whether you want to risk losing it by making a low offer or rather make a solid offer. In addition to the offer price, there are other factors that can make the difference between getting or losing the home. These include your earnest money deposit, whether you are pre-qualified or pre-approved, as well as the inspection period, appraisal contingency, and closing date. The typical earnest money deposit is $1,000 or 1% of the purchase price. However, a higher deposit could indicate a higher commitment to the seller. A cash offer is usually preferred by most sellers, and a pre-approval is better than a pre-qualification. Finally, a shorter inspection period and sooner closing date will also make your offer more appealing. Once a seller reviews an offer, the seller will either accept, reject, or return with a counteroffer. Often the seller will counter with a higher price, shorter inspection period, or sooner closing date. This is where working with a professional is especially helpful because your realtor can give you expert advice on a counteroffer, handle the negotiations for you, and keep the communication between you and the seller professional. When negotiating contingencies, keep in mind that these exist to protect you. So while a shorter inspection period would be okay, getting rid of it altogether would be extremely risky and is usually not advisable. Once your offer has been accepted, you typically have 7 to 15 days to perform an inspection. It's usually in the buyer's sole discretion to determine whether a property is acceptable or not. That means that during the inspection period, you have the opportunity to cancel the contract without losing your deposit. A home inspection typically ranges between $200 and $600 depending on the size of the home. The typical price for a normal inspection should be around $300. In addition to the normal home inspection, you can add other inspections like radon gas, septic, or wood-destroying organisms. Many home inspections include a WDO inspection and are usually sufficient. Most of your efforts until the day of closing will go towards providing information to your mortgage lender. The underwriting department of your lender will require various documents, statements, and explanations in order to approve the loan. If you are employed, you will need to provide W-2s and tax returns for the past 2 years. If you're self-employed, you need to provide business tax returns of the past 2 years, and in addition, you will need to provide current bank statements as well as proof for all your financial assets and income. In addition, your lender will most likely require you to obtain homeowner's insurance and will require you to submit at least a quote or proof that you purchased the insurance for the first year. In some areas, additional insurances such as flood, hurricane, or earthquake insurance may be required by your lender as well. When you buy a home, you will most likely work with a title company or real estate attorney for title and closing. While a title search is not required by law, your lender will require it to make sure that there is nothing preventing you from legally taking full possession of the property. Title insurance protects you and the lender in case there were any errors or unrecorded liens on the property. It's a one-time fee that is due at closing, and it protects yours and the lender's legal interest in the property and will most likely be a set requirement by your lender. Once all the requirements are fulfilled, the title company will schedule the time and date for closing, which usually takes place at the title company. You will typically need to bring 2 forms of identification to closing, as well as a cashier's check for your down payment and your share of the closing costs. Call your title company before closing to ask them if they require a wire transfer or cashier's check and to verify the exact amount. At closing, you will have to sign a lot of documents, so make sure you reserve enough time and have a meal before you come in for closing. The closing agent will guide you step by step through all the documents you need to sign and will explain all the details. And that's it. You're the owner of your new home. Thank you for watching. I'm Realtor Ben, and I hope I'll see you again soon.